Hey, so this is a little story time about what started off as a fairly innocent Facebook review of a restaurant and turned into death threats and unpleasant things being posted through my house letterbox. Yeah. Hey, so before we start, if you're new to my channel, please click the subscribe button and click that little alarm icon so you get updates for all my stuff. People seem to like it, and yeah, let's carry on. Okay, story time. This is like a hate crime that wasn't a hate crime, then became a hate crime. So, many months ago, I went out for a meal with a friend and got to the restaurant, and I'd been dying to try this restaurant for a long time, and almost immediately upon getting there, I was misgendered repeatedly. Would you like your table, sir? Can I take your order, sir? How is your meal, sir? You know. Now, I try not to be, okay? But sometimes I can be a I think most of us can if we're honest. And this particular night, I was so annoyed that such an amazing evening had been ruined by overreacting, okay, by, a Luddite. I actually approached the waiter involved and I said, "Why are you calling me sir?" I called him up on it. I left the restaurant a really bad review. The food was great, the food was fantastic, but the way they handled this whole thing was really, really bad. So I left a bad review and I went to bed. No, tell a lie. The restaurant owner replied to my review on social media and basically said none of that kind of happened. We pride ourselves on our customer service. Basically, the inference anybody would have got from that was that I was making it up. So I private messaged the owner, told them what had happened, and I left it at that. I gave them more detail. God, this is getting complicated. I didn't want to leave the full details of exactly what had happened in the Facebook review that I had left, just that I was very unhappy with the customer service and that they should possibly look at some diversity training. Anywho, the review was for all to see. I went to bed. The following morning, I checked Facebook and I had a ton of notifications in Facebook. One of the partners of the restaurant had told me to and stop being an attention whore on Facebook. The other partner outdid me on their Facebook wall. Talk about data protection and oh my god, and just said, well, and at no point did they apologize. Okay, they were just like, well, now when I got up, I was thinking I was a bit yesterday. I'm just going to delete that. It wasn't even the waiter's fault. He just hasn't had diversity training, and perhaps I just looked like a bloke. It's shit that happens. I was going to delete this post, but the restaurant had gone insane. So they had turned something that had started off as just me being a bit of a and a bit of an unfortunate series of events. It then became an actual hate crime. I was outed as being transgender. I was, abuse and all sorts from the restaurant. So I was a little bit, I was angry. It's like, really? I didn't actually do anything wrong here. I did leave a genuine, I even left them like 3 stars. It was just a middle of the road review. Great food, disappointing customer service. It wasn't even a particularly bad review. Well, their handling of it is what turned it into a hate incident. And then other people had seen how the restaurant had responded to my complaint and they went mental. Now this is fine. And I really appreciate that people were supporting me and were saying you can't do this, you can't, this is wrong. And this thread exploded. And I was thinking, oh wow, this was not what I had in mind. While I really appreciate people sticking up for me, and it was amazing. I wanted to leave it die. I'm not going to delete it now because people need to see what these people were like. But I let it go until a couple of days later passed. At which point I started getting threats from people who were at the restaurant. Things like, I hope your house has fire insurance, and this is a family restaurant, not for trannies and fags, I'm like, oh, really guys, you have to escalate this now? So I basically had to get the police involved at this point because I was starting to get threats now. Even though I'd only commented like 3 times in total, okay? This was like, wow, exploding into insanity. So the police get involved, and then I said, look, they're just being stupid. They obviously don't realize that they can't do that sort of thing. So the police went to speak to them, and I said, look, I don't want to press charges or anything. Just go and tell them to stop it, just stop being silly. So when the police got there, The restaurant then complained about me that I was, I'm using air quotes here, that I was conducting a cyber attack against their business. Apparently I was attacking their Facebook I was trying to hack them. It was getting really bizarre. The police were like, oh, what's going on? They were trying to be the victim all the time. Victim. And it just kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. It got to hundreds of comments. And then they started posting on their private wall and tagging my friends. And, oh, by the way, the threats actually didn't come from the owners. It came from people who hadn't been paid by the owners and wanted to stir up more trouble. And this whole thing exploded. So, anyway, I was ready to delete the post. I thought, this is ridiculous. On the one hand, these people need to see what they're like. But on the other hand, I'm getting threats and things. Is this worth it? And I was ready to delete it. Oh, then this huge bombshell got dropped when I had things posted through my door. They found out where I lived, and it went to another level. It actually became a physical thing at this point. Just to roll this back, by the way, this all came from a negative review of them handling it really badly. I contacted the police again, and it said, look, this is not de-escalating. It then got to the hate crime division or something. I forget exactly where it went to at this point, but very quickly things stopped. So I don't know if somebody told them, you're getting into trouble here now. It all went quiet, and then one of the owners came on and actually for the first time apologized. It was one of these, oh, I apologize that you were upset. It wasn't that I apologize for what you did. It wasn't an apology to say, I am sorry for how we handled this. It was, I'm sorry you were upset by how this happened. I'm like, what? You're still trying to be the victim here, guys. But you know what? That's the best. This is, So this is what happened. But the point I'm trying to make, in a really, really roundabout way, is people are so angry at all things. And, okay, I guess in this case, the answer would have been not replying to them while I was still being pissed off, but just saying, well, not giving them details, and just saying, well, this is what happened, deny it or not, whatever. But by deliberately speaking to them and saying, well, I was misgendered and this is what happened and you should get some diversity training for your staff, and, by trying to give constructive criticism, it then became this really massively insane situation. But I think we all need to just take a chill pill sometimes. Stop being outraged. Stop giving ammunition. And again, this is, my post outraged people. And I guess people have a right to be outraged if they want to be. But maybe we should just sometimes take a little step, take a breath, and think, is this going to help? Is this outrage? And I need to do this too. We all should. And let's stop clicking on these crazy videos that we see saying, oh, you won't believe what happened. This clickbait, which all comes from this rage society. We're all hanging around trying to be absolutely incensed by what we see. The transgender community, and I guess any sort of minority community, in particular with this case, what I noticed was a lot of, SJW types, social justice warrior types, who seem to be really interested in minority interests. And that's, look, this, I don't want to seem like I'm being ungrateful here, because we need support. We need, as a minority group, it's good to have allies. But sometimes by being an outraged ally, by shouting down people who just don't know, that's kind of bullying. People are terrified to ask questions, and something I'm trying to do in this channel is be as open as I can and ask kind of anything, because people don't know. And I have this philosophy, and it's a bit of a cheesy one, but the beginning of all knowledge is the 3 words, I don't know. And I think if people genuinely don't know the answer to things, that's fine. And so in this particular case, even though I think I was justified to be angry, things got out of hand, the restaurant could have absolutely handled it a lot better. There were certain elements where people were trying to ask genuine questions, and were just getting jumped on and hounded by people who were just, well, you should know this, it's 2017, and people don't. Look, if you're a transgender, or if you're gay, or if you're in any of these minority groups, then it's an interest to you, so you will know a little more about it. But a lot of people really don't give a shit and just don't understand these things. So we really have to stop being outraged and angry at people who just don't know. What I want people to take away from this is stop being outraged at everything. And if you're in a minority, don't attack people just for asking questions. Don't jump on people. Don't be so quick to be offended, because people will just come to hate things they don't understand. They become afraid of things they don't understand. And there's enough transphobia and bigotry and in the world as it is, without attacking people who are potential allies just because they asked a question, you know? Not everything is transphobic. Some stuff is just trans ignorance. And let's be honest, we're all ignorant about something, right? You know, let's give a little too, before you get accused of being an apologist. So that's my little story time video, with a little, you know, let's all try to calm down a little bit. Thank you so much for watching. Please, have you had any drama below? Leave your comments about any drama you've had below. Please subscribe, click the little bell. It's all good. And thank you so much. I will see you next time. I love you guys. Bye.